Child abuse is when a parent or caregiver, whether through action or failing to act, causes injury, death, emotional harm, or risk of serious harm to a child. While physical abuse is the most common, emotional and sexual abuse follow close behind. A report of child abuse is made every 10 seconds. In 1 year, 70% of the children who died from abuse were under 2 years old. 80% of 21-year-olds who reported childhood abuse met the criteria for at least one psychological disorder. All child abuse and neglect cases involve an act of commission or omission by the caretaker. In some and most cases of abuse, both acts are committed. A person's relationship with their parents is the most significant factor in their lives. Because of this, when trust is compromised by some form of abuse, it interferes with their interpersonal development.
There's this cube on the screen. It bounces around all day. It looks like it's heading right to the board.
Hey, your principal just called me, and you've been truant to almost all your classes. So tell me what's going on.
Well, it's just been really hard to focus in class since Mom left, and then I haven't been sleeping very much, and I've been falling asleep in class because of it, and the teachers are counting me absent.
Well, you need to start getting to sleep then.
Well, it's kind of hard when you're in here watching your show and yelling at the characters because you're drunk.
Okay, do you think your mom leaving hasn't affected me at all either?
Well, maybe if you didn't drink so much, you wouldn't have those issues.
My drinking problem isn't any of your concern.
I gotta go to work.
No, you're fixing to tell me what's going on.
Child abuse cases like the one you just viewed in the video before are both vast in number and vary in intensity with each and every one of them. Take, for instance, the case of 4-year-old Tegan Skibba. On July 16th of 2010, Tegan was left alone with her mother's boyfriend, Douglas Richardson. Now, Richardson, before this time, was never known to have any violent past or exhibit any form of child abuse whatsoever. However, in the course of the stay with him, Tegan was sexually abused and tortured beyond comprehension, to the point where 3 days later, after being sent to the ER, perished from her wounds. This just goes to show that not all child abuse cases end with the child receiving help.
Okay. Hello, my name is Dr. Ortiz, and your name is Sarah, correct?
Correct.
Okay. So how are you doing today, Sarah?
I'm pretty good. How about you?
I'm doing pretty well. We're here just to talk about pretty much how you're feeling and stuff. Just kind of like to get started. Why are you here?
My school recommended it. I think something about my neighbor calling them and saying that they'd heard something. So.
Okay. Have you been having any issues at home?
Not really, no.
Okay. Is there anything going on at home that worries you or anything?
Well, I guess Mom left a few months ago and Dad took it kind of rough, so I'm a little worried about him. But other than that, no.
Okay. So your mom left, and like you said, your dad's taking it a little bit rough, correct? So, like, how do you see that in him? Like, how do you see him taking it rough?
He's just gotten a lot louder and a little bit rougher. I'm in trouble quite a bit, so.
Okay. So how has he been like rougher? Like, do you have?
I can't do this. Well, beforehand, like, he was never around, so I don't really have much to go off of, but he's a little bit louder. He tends to be more aggressive at times, but it's expected. I mean, he's upset.
Yeah. So, like, what do you mean by aggressive at times? Like, is there anything specific that you can remember?
He told me to take my shoes off because it was raining outside, and I took them off. And then he yelled at me because he thought I still had them on, and like made a huge deal out of it because I said I didn't, and he thought I was talking back.
Okay. Did anything happen other than the yelling?
No.
Okay. So has it just been like little random bursts at times, or is it like all the time that it happens?
It's pretty consistent.
Okay. So can you tell me how that makes you feel, like whenever that happens?
Not the best. Frustrated, but I can't really say anything, so that just makes it worse.
Okay. Have you ever tried to like talk to him about it?
That never ends well.
So how does it usually end?
More yelling.
More young? Okay. Has there ever been any like physical violence happen?
Yeah, I mean, he's slapped me a couple times for just small things, but
Okay. So whenever that happens, does it make you feel scared, or does it worry you?
yeah, but like you also, like I kind of have to understand when he use my dad, if that's what he thinks needed to happen.
Okay.
Following the session with the client, Dr. Ortiz noted various critical signs and symptoms associated with that of major depressive disorder. During the interview, the client expressed that lately she had been truant from classes, had a loss of sleep, felt socially withdrawn, and lacked an appetite altogether. Pair these with her symptoms of feelings of guilt, depressed mood, decreased focus, and a almost visible, slowed, and or hesitant speech during the interview with Dr. Ortiz, and the possibility of her being diagnosed with the disorder is high.